second thing that is destroying our relationships is dishonesty. Now, it could be dishonesty where a person is truly dishonest, because in reality, if trust is lost in any relationship, that relationship will collapse. There's no question about it. When it comes to a husband and wife, if there is trust issues, then it does not matter whatever it is. There's always going to be trust issues. And that means that anything that the husband does is going to be there's going to be doubt involved. Anything that the wife does, there's going to be doubt involved. And that happens all the time. Even between friends, if there is trust that is lost, eventually that relationship will also collapse. Now, it's very important to also understand that when it comes to our relationships, we have to make sure that we have trust within our husband and wife. If they have shown a tendency or they have done something in the past that says that yes, trust can no longer be there, then yes, I would say that okay, you can have a certain level or a certain amount of doubt in them. But the very first thing that has to be built within a relationship is trust. And we have to make sure that we don't do anything to violate that trust. So let me give you an example. There are times where, this is why I say that before we get married, we always have to talk to our potential spouse. And we have to also let them know exactly what we do as for business purposes or job purposes. The reason I say this is because every single woman is different. And every single man is different. There are some men and women, for them it is completely unacceptable for their potential spouse to be conversing with anyone of the opposite gender. They're just I would say sometimes they could be insecure about it, or sometimes they're just very strict about it, that whoever I marry, I don't want them to be conversing with anyone of the opposite gender. That is why a lot of times when they find, after they get married and they see that their husband because they have jobs and they're conversing with people of the opposite gender, it turns into a big issue. I've talked about this before, that one time there was a doctor who got married. And when his wife, later on, the wife said, well, fine, because usually it's like, okay, what do you do for a profession? How much money do you make and so forth? And for them, it was like, okay, alhamdulillah, he makes enough money that he can support my daughter and so forth. They got married. But then realizing that a doctor has to converse with nurses, he has to talk to so many different people of the opposite gender. So this is his profession. This is what he has to do on a day-to-day basis. If you want food to be put on the table and you want a roof over your head, this is how your husband's going to work. And she made a very big issue about this, that why do you keep on talking to other girls? And why do you talk to other women and so forth? Well, that's part of his job. He's not being unfaithful. He's not crossing the bounds of being being untrustworthy, but simply he's just doing his job. But this becomes the issue. And then what happens is there's always a trust issue. She's always has this mindset that he's doing something that is wrong. And not only that, but tracking him wherever he's going, tracking tracking his phone and so forth. Now look, there are some husbands who are just clean as a slate, okay? Their slate is absolutely clean. They give their wives their phones, and they say, you can check my phone and so forth. But there are some husbands who are very protective of their phone, and they have a right to do that too. They have a right to do that so. Yes, it is better if you gave your phone to your wife and she went through it, just so that you know that she has trust in you and you have trust in her. The point is that trust has to be worked upon, but at the same time, you have to know what you're getting into also. This is something very, very important. And if you feel that trust will not be there in any marriage, then do not even get into that to begin with. This is why even there are cases I've dealt with where sometimes even the man is so, subhanallah, I would say that such an open book characteristic, or he has such an open book character, I would say, that he is so comfortable around every single person that then, of course, the wife is going to have some kind of doubt. You understand? Then, because he's not even an open book. Like, it's more than just an open book concept. You understand? So that is why you have to always make sure that you don't do anything that could violate the trust within any family.